Hello, friends. It's John Klein III with episode 25 of Shadow and Flame of Magic, the podcast. And today we're going to review all new X-Men issue 41. So let's get to it. Once again, thanks again to Francisco for providing the theme song to the podcast. Really appreciate that. Celebrating my 41st year, we are going to continue reading comics I have of issue 41, which strangely, I got a lot of comics that are around 41, but a lot of them skip right over them. But thankfully, we have at least 6 or so. So today is all new X-Men 41, Volume 1. Volume 2, I suspect, did not last that long. And this issue came in August 2015. All new X-Men. Oh, actually, there's a header part. Born with genetic mutations that give them abilities beyond those of normal humans, mutants are the next stage in evolution. As such, they are feared and hated by humanity. But a group of mutants known as the X-Men fight for peaceful coexistence between the mutants and humankind. But not all mutants see peaceful coexistence as a reality. The original X-Men, Jean Grey, Cyclops, Iceman, Angel, and Beast. Not sure what order that is. If it was Cyclops listed first, I would say probably the ones I liked the most. Were brought forward in time in an attempt to shine a light on the errors of the present-day X-Men. Unable to return to the past, they have teamed up with fellow mutant X-23 and are now under the instruction of Magik. Since arriving in the present, the original X-Men have been hunted, jailed, divided, and spurned by their own people. They have traveled the cosmos, been trapped in alternate dimensions, and faced down the threat of death. Despite all of this, the present is starting to feel like where they belong. As the young X-Men enjoy their brief moment in peace, S.H.I.E.L.D. was alerted to a mutant-related conflict on Utopia Island. The former home of X-Men, a team of S.H.I.E.L.D. agents landed on the island to investigate, but soon came into conflict with a group of hostile mutants that were seemingly wiped out. The comic is written by Brian Michael Bendis, who I don't know. I guess I like Bendis from his Ultimate Spider-Man run. And so I like his X-Men era. Like, it just, maybe there's some down points, but he really brought Kate Pryde into front and center, as did he kept Magik in the front as well. So Kitty had the all new title, and then Magik had the uncanny title. And then who knows what crossover happened where they got switched and Magik took over the all new team. But here we are. The artist is Mahmoud Azhar. Colorist is Marte Garcia. And this book looks amazing with those two at the helm. Letters, VC Corey Pettit. Editors are Alexander Jaroway and Mike Martz. Editor-in-Chief Alex Alonso. Chief Creative Officer is Joe Quesada. Publishers Dan Buckley. And Executive Producers Alan Fine. So the comic opens up the new Xavier School, location secret today. And it's a secret, but it's the old Weapon X facility. And Jean, Bobby, and Hank are just laying on the ground. Cyclops is sitting on the one rock they could find. And these are during their all-new uniforms, where they all share a similar design, like a white belly and inner pant leg. And then each of them have their own color scheme. Jean has a green border. Bobby has a light blue, which makes sense. Hank has a orange, imagine, because he doesn't want blue. And then Cyclops had a darker blue. And Angel, what does he have, like a gold? Does that make any sense? I'm trying to flip ahead, and he's colored very darkly, but Angel also has some wings that separates him. And so they're just enjoying their day, and Bobby's making fun of Cyclops because he's just being moody. And Oh, yeah, and then they're questioning where Angel is and where X-23 is because they're dating at the moment. And now Bobby's wondering what's on Cyclops' mind. And they're wondering, but Scott's too stoic, so they don't know what it is. But this Jean does not mind just reading anyone's mind and then saying it aloud. So she says he's thinking he really missed us because I think he's been in space on his own. So this is clearly after the trial Jean Grey, which I am going to do that for my Guardians of the Galaxy tie-in. So we're going to get, and I want to say that's issues 32, so it's like 10 issues prior to this. And some changes occur. And then all of a sudden you see a giant helicarrier coming down. There's an ad for sunscreen is better with friends. And the Avengers have teamed up with Pure Sun. That is also at Walmart's brand. Awkwardly, it's Iron Man, Hulk, Cap, and Thor. The movie ones, but no Black Widow. So that's awkward. The X-Men are getting ready to fight where Magik shows up on the scene, says, "To me, my X-Men." And Scott's like, "Magik, what are we?" "We're getting to hell out of here." And Maria's like, "Please don't. Like, I'm unarmed, I'm by myself, please." She even throws her arms up in the air. It's like, listen, something weird's happening on Utopia. And of course, all new X-Men are like, we don't know what Utopia is. Which I like the Utopia era as well. Like, it had Matt Fraction, it had Scott, it had Emma. Fraction, of course, fixes the Joss Whedon downer of Kitty being stuck in space and brought Magneto to predominance again by rescuing her. So I always have a soft spot for Fraction, Magneto, and Kitty. The ultimate trio. Bobby's wondering how they even found them because this is the fancy new school and should be hidden from all eyes. And Maria's like, well, I noticed there was a big blank spot on the earth and just assumed someone's hiding there. And then, so she really wants, there's a mutant problem and they need a mutant solution. And Ileana's not happy to hear about any of this. So they describe it as an abandoned mutant headquarters off the coast of San Francisco. And then the shield, which I guess showed up in issue 40. Which I guess for these 41 issues, I'm going to do not the next issue, but there's a crossover or something. Maybe I could rope in the next issue. But, I got to leave something for next year. And so instead of storming Utopia and finding out what mutants are on the island, she wants this team to come for them. And then Angel and X-23 land, and this is during Angel's Fire Wing era. And Bobby's worried it's a trap, and they're like, a trap of what? Like, Maria points to their base and is like, if I want to trap you, I would have waited until you were all inside and then trap you there. And Jean's confirming that Maria Hill is being super honest. Angel wants to know what they do. And Magik saying, we'll handle it. Do not follow us. And Bobby's like, wait, are we not even going to? And then a stepping disc later, boom, Utopia Island, former home of the X-Men, San Francisco Bay. And Scott's like, the X-Men live here? Yes. And Bobby finishes the sentence, discuss it? No. And Hank's like, it's a bit of a fixer-upper, which can't remember when Frozen came out, but, hard not to see the words fixer-upper now, and now associated with Frozen, the true legacy of that movie. I guess Bobby being there, too, doesn't help things. And Angel wants to know who knocked the place over. Depends on who you ask. Some say the Avengers, some say us. And X-23 picks up on a scent and then starts, I guess X-23, Laura's the deputy leader of the team, if you consider Magik the leader, or Magik's the mentor, and maybe Jean and Scott share leadership. And Laura tells Jean to start searching for thoughts that are not theirs. And some shadowy figure says, "No need, baby Wolverine, we're right here." And we find out who the Utopian mutants are. And they are Random, Mask, Elixir, Boom Boom, Karma, and Madison Jeffries. Oh yeah, this is during the augmented reality era of comics that didn't last long. So if you use the app, you can like scan the AR code and then I guess find out their origins or something, or see art or the art. So this collection of mutants is Random, which was the joke I butchered. But it's not a bad group. I mean, I don't know, like, do you just put all the names of mutants in a hat and then of like who wasn't already found and be like, oh, I guess we got these? Because like none of them have any. I mean, maybe they're from different eras. Like there's Karma for the New Mutants, then Boom Doom from X-Force, Elixir from the new X-Men era. Mask is a Morlock, Madison Jeffries representing Alpha Flight, and then Random literally being Random. And Beast is like, I take it you know them? What are you mutants doing here, Karma? I feel like I had the accent and now I lost it. And everyone's just like, we're minding our own business. Then fine, come with us and we'll clear this all up with S.H.I.E.L.D. And they're all like, are you insane? Like, we're not... Like, we're living in peace. Boom Boom. And Bobby's like, Boom Boom. And Hank's like, Boom Boom. Like, and all they do want to do is just live in peace. Like, anyway, and Random says the rule is that... Oh yeah, Random says, like, I guess Random's the leader. I made a deal with the rest of my group here. We don't retaliate. We don't fight back unless they make a move. And they did. They sent you here. You. They sent mutants to hurt us. And Jean mentally puts them all to sleep. And so now they're all just like, well, problem solved. Except Cyclops turns to Jean and just optic blasts her to the face. And then he shoots at Magik, dropping her soul sword, so that's going to get him some demerits. Then Bobby throws up an ice shield. And Scott's like, this isn't me. Somebody help me. Somebody knock me out. Then Beast, not even missing a step, like kicks him so hard he like spits blood. And then Laura comes claws at the ready and just attacks Warren. He's like, hey, Laura, cut it out. And Laura's like, no. And Magik finally getting to her feet. It's like, no, it's Karma. She can control you. And Jean's like, you. And like, finally, Jean locates Karma and gets into her mind. And then Laura comes to her senses. And Laura, because if you use her as a weapon, she's going to kill you, immediately says, which one of you am I going to carve my initials into? Which I like for Laura. Like, yeah, she was made to be a weapon. And whenever someone uses her as a weapon, that irks her. And she's ready to throw hands, as the kids say. And then Boom Boom's back on her feet, and she's just throwing, bombs about. And Jean's like, Boom Boom, stop. Which, I don't know, the word Boom Boom is... It's a lot to say over and over again. And Tabitha's like, get off our lawn. Which is fun, because our new team are very young. And then Jean sees Karma, and then does a telepathic conversation in their mind. And this is during Karma's mechanic leg. And Karma's in a cute little nightie, which seems weird of, like, I guess Jean put her at ease by putting her in a nightgown and in her own bedroom. Like, where are we going with this? And then Karma keeping a sheet over her body's, like, I guess, feeling too vulnerable. And Jean just wants to talk. Karma is worried about... It's here. Gene's like, I would very much like to see the modern history of mutants through your perspective. My perspective, where I come from, even after all I've been through, I think is limited. And Karma is worried about being judged. And there must be a website that, whenever Teen Gene reads someone's mind, we get like a gorgeous piece of art that I'm pretty sure Stuart Immerman started at the beginning of this title. And so we see Karma in Vietnam. We see her on the New Mutants team. We see obese Karma, so trigger warning there, sorry. We see the Shadow King taking over mine. Karma studying under Emma. Karma the teacher. Karma with Wolverine. And maybe during the Astonishing X-Men era, which was a pretty good run. Then I guess we see Karma with this group of heroes. Yeah, that seems like all the ones I recognize. Apparently Civil War is about to begin. No, I'm sorry. Secret War with Charles Soule and Lino Yu coming to stores. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.'s turning season 2. And then Jean comes up with a plan. They tell Maria Hill that the Utopians disappeared and they're good. Hill knows they're lying, but is recognizing that they must have solved the problem. So whatever it took to get the problem solved, fine. See, there's I was going to say New York Comic Con, but it doesn't say that anywhere. Special edition New York Comic Con, Comics Art Culture, June 6th, Pier 94, New York City. We have Ramin Perez for Hawkeye, Jason Latour for Spider-Gwen, Robbie Rodriguez for Spider-Gwen, Mark Brooks for X-Men Legacy, Marguerite Bennett for Angela, Asgard's Assassin, and Charles Soule, Death of Wolverine, which I recognize one of those names for sure. The other ones seem vaguely familiar. So the Utopians are now invited to be at the new Charles Xavier School for Mutants, which Older Scott clearly did just to irritate Wolverine with his Jean Grey School for Mutants. And Alexa's like, they bought it? And it doesn't really matter. We solved it. And Jean says, this is the new Xavier School for very gifted mutants who have nowhere else to live. And I thought someone made a... Oh, yeah. So Alexa's like, what was this before? And Bobby's like, something called Weapon X? And Boom Boom's like, no. And Bobby's like, yes. And Boom Boom's like, and now it's the school? Whose idea was that? And Jean ends the issue with, Beast was right. These mutants have been through hell too. All of us. We've all been through it. Why is it still like this for us? What are we doing wrong? What can we change? To be concluded in Uncanny X-Men 600, which then I went to Marvel Fandom, the wiki, which is a great website for just seeing like character appearances. And this was the very last issue of All New X-Men. And I figured, why? And then I looked at Uncanny X-Men 600, and that's the very last issue of Bendis' Uncanny run. So I was like, well, why don't we just finish both? That'd be a fun way to do a celebrating episode 25. Though once I saw it was episode 25, I was like, shoot, I did have a second other plan, but here we are. So that was All New X-Men 41. Thank you so much for coming along with me. You can follow the blog at shoutontaflamewithmagic.com. You can follow me on YouTube and Twitter at Jackals III. That's Jackal SIII. You can follow the blog, the podcast on Instagram and Twitter at SNFWM and spelt out. And come back next week where we review Uncanny X-Men 600. All right, everyone. Thanks for listening. If you give the podcast a like and a subscribe, That really helps us out. All right, everyone. Bye.